Welcome to this video on Node.js Intermediate Concepts. Node.js is essentially JavaScript running outside the browser. This video will guide you through moving from basic API creation toward more robust backend engineering habits, covering backend concepts, express patterns, async control, APIs, testing, security, and deployment basics. By the end of this video, you will understand how Node.js handles multiple requests without blocking the server, how to structure an Express backend, and how to manage middleware, routing, and database connections. We will follow a mental model where a request enters, is checked by middleware, handled by a controller, and served a response. At its core, Node.js is a runtime that allows you to execute JavaScript on a server. It uses the V8 engine to run code, while libuv manages asynchronous tasks like file system operations and networking. Built-in Node APIs provide the necessary modules for your applications to interact with the operating system, network, and files. Node.js feels fast because of its non-blocking event loop. When a request arrives, async work is delegated to system APIs. Once complete, the callback is queued and eventually executed. Remember the golden rule: never write heavy synchronous code inside your request handlers, as this blocks the entire server process. Managing asynchronous code is essential. While callbacks are traditional, promises represent future results, and async await provides a much cleaner syntax. When working with databases in your controllers, always use try-catch blocks. Remember, using await pauses the specific function, not your entire server. An organized project structure is key for scalability. Standardize your folders. Use routes for URL definitions, controllers for request handling, models for database logic, and a dedicated folder for shared utilities and configuration. Keeping your app entry and server startup logic separate is a recommended best practice. Express middleware acts as a pipeline between your request and the controller. You can use global middleware for logging and parsing, route-level middleware for authorization, and error-handling middleware to catch issues. Remember that Express processes these from top to bottom, so order is crucial. For clean REST API design, use nouns in your URLs and standard HTTP methods like get, post, patch, and delete to define your actions. Always return clear status codes and user-friendly JSON messages. Crucially, avoid exposing raw database error text to the end user. Validation is your first line of defense. Always validate the request body before touching your database. Use standard HTTP status codes: 400 for bad input, 401 when login is required, and 403 for unauthorized access. Maintain a consistent error format and ensure your server logs the full error while sending only safe messages to the client. When using Mongoose with MongoDB, schemas provide the necessary structure for your documents. Models offer powerful query methods, while indexes improve performance. Use populate to handle relationships between collections and never store passwords in plain text. Always use hashing. Authentication often relies on JSON Web Tokens, or JWTs. The workflow involves verifying credentials, signing a token, and having the client send it in the authorization header for protected routes. Always keep your JWT secret in environment variables and use bcrypt for secure password hashing. For file management, stream large files rather than loading them entirely into memory. In Express, the Multer middleware is standard for handling file uploads. Ensure you validate file types and sizes, and store uploaded files in a location separate from your front-end source code. Configuration and security go hand in hand. Use environment variables for secrets, and never commit your .env file to version control. Enhance your API security by using cores for trusted domains, implementing Helmet, and adding rate limiting. Always sanitize inputs before running database queries. Automated testing is vital. Use tools like Jest and Supertest to verify your route behavior, not just your functions. Perform manual checks with Postman, and always attempt to reproduce a bug locally before applying a fix to production. A reliable backend is one that you can prove works. Finally, follow a checklist for deployment. Build your front-end and backend separately. Use a process manager like PM2 to keep your application running and monitor your logs. When releasing updates, always back up your data, test thoroughly, and deploy only confirmed fixes. To wrap things up, we have a practice project to solidify these concepts. You are tasked with building a dynamic portfolio, API featuring authentication, CRUD operations for projects and skills, a contact form, and an admin dashboard. This is a great way to apply what we have covered. For evaluation, your work will be reviewed based on clean folder structure, functionality tested via Postman, clear error handling, secure protected routes, and readable, tested code. We have reached the end of this video. Thank you for joining, and keep building and growing together.